Hello and welcome back to another short video for Final Fantasy XIV covering all of the stuff added in patch 6.55. You saw yesterday, if you saw my stream, which is now available in VOD format, if you want to go back see my reactions to that, the 6.55 storyline wrapped up. And obviously we get all of the lead into Dawn Trail that we're going to get. There are obviously a few other patches, minor patches to come. There should be obviously a 6.57 and a 6.58, as is typically the case. They still need to unlock the, the Alliance Raid stuff and the coins and the rest of it. So that should be expected. We've also got lots of other things like crossover events and things. I personally really enjoyed the storyline. We're not going to talk about that too much here or any of those spoilers. But if you are raring to go for Dawn Trail, it certainly puts you in the best mood, or at least it did me. And I really like the new Wook Lamart storyline with that character. I think the voice acting is brilliant, at least in English. That's the only version I've heard. The character is brilliant. And one of the rewards that we get for this is we get a title, as is typically the case with these end of expansion patches, with the achievements for completing the quests, but we also get this fashion accessory. This is something I'm incredibly happy with. I was hoping we would get something like this for the longest time, ever since Erenville, the bunny that you might have seen or might know by now, was introduced to us as a gleaner. I've been like, why can't we have that? I want that. And they have gleaners. Basically, they travel the world and worlds or areas around trying to find things for Labyrinthos. We won't go into that storyline too much, but essentially they're archivers and they camp places, they gather things, they go places ordinarily people wouldn't, so they can document and archive information and items, things like that, rare seeds, things like that. Very exciting stuff, and it sounds like a really fun vocation, honestly. But yes, ever since that character was introduced, I was hoping for this, and this just answers everything I wanted perfectly. It is a fashion accessory, which, I mean, how else would they have done this? Probably, what, a chess piece with this attached? I guess. But as you can see, it is fully animated. It has some movement associated with it, and it's got some lovely details. So we've got a lantern down here that has soft yellow light, and of course we have these boots that are tied on. You can just about see the laces that they're tied up with at the back there, and they have animations with them where they wobble around as you run. And so does the lantern. It's a very well designed fashion accessory, and probably is a sort of a sign of things to come in Dawn Trail, the things that would be possible. For the longest time, me personally, I was kind of speculating what would be possible with the fashion accessory system. Obviously, we've got wings and things like that, glasses, all that sort of thing. We've also got parasols more recently, lots of those. But this is the first of a different type that we've seen. It says, shoulder a knapsack and look the part of a seasoned traveler. Very cool stuff. So yeah, hopefully we get a bunch more character-based items like this. I'm not sure what I personally would like to see. Maybe even, you know, the when we did the 12, the Pantheon Alliance raids, and Graha was going around with that Aethero thing. I forget what it's called, like the big thing that was on his back. That would be perfect now, especially since we have this in the game. I don't know how much they would like to go down giving us items that NPCs use, but very clearly this is inspired by what we saw with the Gleaners, and it would make sense. But yeah, I would be happy to see an evolution of this. But what blew me away was the sheer animation quality of this. It's not just another fashion accessory. It's fully animated, and it changes depending on how fast you go. Currently, fashion accessories have the limitation of only being able to be used in the open world areas. In combat, they can only be used temporarily in things in the open world as well. They just sort of toggle off and toggle back on again once you're in combat. So if you do like hunts in the open world, stuff like that, they will toggle themselves back on. However, duties, instance content, that kind of thing, they're just not usable, which is a real shame. Hopefully that's something as a limitation that can be worked on or improved in the future. I certainly would love to see the ability to have permanent wings on my character. But we have seen some evolution like that anyway, because in Dawn Trail they've already said that these, you know how basically you have a piece of headwear and that counts as one slot, and typically you're not able to have a headpiece and a glasses slot. They did say, and I'm not sure if it is a separate slot, but they said you will be able to equip both headwear and glasses at the same time. So I don't know if this means we're getting another cosmetic slot or something, how that's going to fit in here, if it's going to be an extra box, you know what I mean, on the left side, or maybe like a glamour box or something. We have still yet to see how they're going to do that, but essentially, if you want to see a demonstration of what that's going to look like, what they're going to do is bake this together. So where you have the classic spectacles, for example, this fashion accessory, and you see it with the helm, well, that means that you won't really need the fashion accessories in the future for the glasses slot, because you will be able to use any glasses in the game with a headpiece that can be used in combat areas and instances. So I'm kind of hoping they do the same with wings, and of course with this backpack as well. That would be really, really neat. But maybe that new slot, quote unquote, will fix many of those issues. The detail on this thing is beautiful. The only way that we could improve probably this in the future would be dyeability for fashion accessories. That would be really, really cool, actually, the ability to change the parasol and wing colors. But yeah, I'm being greedy at this point. But yeah, I was very happy with this one. It was a great testament, a great celebration of course, the final patch in the storyline of patch 6.5, wrapping it up nicely, in my opinion. And we got introduced to quite a lot of the politics and storyline going forward, which was the most important thing. The other thing we got, of course, from that is the Sun Chaser title, which is actually quite a nice title for 6.55. MSQ completion, The Coming Dawn. So yeah, I suppose the only other title we would like is Dawn Trail or Dawn Trail Blazer or something. That would be cool. Anyway, let me know what you think about this, and I'm off on my adventure. Very Bilbo Baggins. Bye-bye.